Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Agent Evolution Show. So, as you saw in the title of this episode, do you ever get to the point where you're feeling just burned out or fatigued or frustrated? And how do you shift that around so that you can win? And I'm going to just share with you my recent experience this last week that I went through and how I shifted and where I'm at now. So it looks a little something like this. I've noticed over the last almost week, I've been really short with people, just go, and overwhelmed. And that leads to some anxiety and frustration. And so last night I had the opportunity to just kind of check in with all of that. And, because I could just feel this feeling of overwhelmed, like I need a vacation. And I thought, that's not the life I created. What's going on here? And so I went back to the Magic Success Formula. If you've watched the Agent Evolution shows or gone to the Agent Evolution event or any other of my classes, you'll learn about the world's greatest success formula. And it is 3 simple things in this order: be, do, have. So most people feel something going on, and if they have the awareness that something's going on and they have the awareness that they're in control and they have the power to shift that, they'll look at what can I do differently. So instead of going to the doingness, which is step 2, what I decided to do was to check in with the beingness. And if you remember, beingness is defined as the combination of your thoughts and your feelings. So Dr. Joe Dispenza says that we cannot think greater than how we feel. And so if I'm feeling overwhelmed and frustrated and burned out, where is that coming from? It's coming from thoughts. Those thoughts are being impressed upon the body, and the body is feeling something. It's a reaction. So I get to look at, what am I thinking? What are my dominant thoughts? And here's where the gold nuggets lied. So my thoughts were, what I realized last night in checking in with all of this was, about a week ago, I had these shreds of doubt on a couple different things in my life. And I left them unchecked, meaning they came up, I didn't address it, I just let it go. Well, by not addressing it, by default, I was feeding it. And so feeding these doubts, worries, and fears really started to be impressed upon my body, and I started to feel that way. So now my thoughts and feelings were in alignment. Alignment of anxiety, doubt, worry, fear, overwhelm, frustration, these kinds of things. And I just find that so fascinating that these things went unchecked. And something about that, like, if you're thinking about a potential reality, a potential outcome in the future that is negative in nature, meaning you have a goal, point B, and instead of focusing on the infinite amount of potential realities, potential outcomes that could happen, to be in alignment with your wish being fulfilled, your desire being met, or better. Instead of focusing on that, focusing on why it won't work and the failure, like, yeah, that's a choice. Well, why are you choosing that? And so I got to look at that. Why did I choose that? Well, by default, those shreds of doubt that came up about a week ago, I left them unchecked. And they had the ability to roam free and feed on my psyche. I did not take responsibility for that. However, now catching that, if I want to think greater than how I feel, the first thing I must do is change my physical state. So here's what I do, and here's what I did. I took 6 really long, deep breaths. I wanted to change my physical state. So if I can change my state and reground myself, recenter, now I can think new thoughts that are in alignment with that. So that's what I did. So I get back to this acronym WIN. I learned this from Lou Holtz, one of the world's greatest college football coaches, one of the most winningest coaches in college football. And he had a book called WIN. And WIN was an acronym for what's important now. So if you find yourself in a position where you're feeling something and you're thinking thoughts that are not really what you want to be focused on, check in. Change your physical state and just ask, what's important right now? What really matters right now? Well, for me, it's my self-love, self-respect, self-esteem. So when I get to check into that, I get to recenter myself. So take a look at what you're thinking about and how you're feeling, and use that awareness to check in and make shifts, because it's really driving the show. maybe even if from the back, but it's there and it's controlling the behavior. That beingness controls the behavior, the doingness, and the doingness or behavior controls the result that you get. So, you want to create bigger, better results? Check in with the beingness. And remember, who you surround yourself with matters. Do you surround yourself with people that have the awareness of how they're operating and have the tools and resources to make shifts in their lives? Are you surrounding yourself with other people that do the same thing? If not, why not? I strongly recommend you get a new circle if that's not the case for you. And if it is, congratulations. So, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you found some tremendous value. Make it a great day.